Fantastic. Okay, welcome everybody. This is absolutely awesome. We are on week 12. Where did the 12 weeks go? This is crazy. I don't know where it went. Oh, I just lost my thing. Nope. That's okay. It's not there. I don't know where the 12 weeks have gone. But what's really exciting is my final slide tonight. And I can't wait to get to that because I'm actually going to be revealing the next 14-week sessions of mentoring. So it's going to be great. We've got topics and we're going to, because life is becoming so busy and there's more and more ambassadors coming on, we're going to switch instead of the floating webinar. We're going to have a fixed day potentially, potentially, but that can be changeable as well. So,
Barbara, can I just say, and I'm sure I speak for everybody else, that the amount of time you give us in this and hearing you now saying more mentoring, I personally want to just say a massive thank you to you for that, because I appreciate how much time you give up for us, and it's really appreciated. So thank you.
Thank you, everybody. But this is a two-way street. You know, my motto is together, stronger, faster. And I really believe that actually the way that we can support one another on this wellness journey, the mentoring is really part of that. And, you know, as you know, I do the mentoring not only on the business side, but on your own wellness side as well. And it's really important for the learning of all the ambassadors to have this information, to have these up their sleeve and learn from it as well, because things are changing all the time. But I appreciate that very much. It means a lot to me. Thank you for being so kind.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So we are going to today talk about the best of the best, and we're going to do a recap of the 12 weeks in this. And as I said, going to do the next 14 weeks. We are going to have a break in between, though, because while I onboard some new ambassadors. So as you know, I'm doing the big webinar for the ambassadors on the 22nd of July. And if you have anyone who wants to come on, please let me know. I can send you the link. It is obviously a ticketed event only, which makes it easier. And if any of those actually come on afterwards, I'm giving a 20% of the full retail price. Okay, so it's £110 as a thank you for referring anyone onto the program. So if you have anyone, then that would be amazing. But without further ado, let's go back through the whole 12 weeks. So we had week one. Week one was our very first session that we had together, and we talked all about goal setting. You know, out of interest, did everyone write their goals? Has anyone actually achieved any of those goals that you wrote 12 weeks ago? Not yet. That's so funny. Okay. You need to look at those and you need to have them right in front of you all the time. Okay. Now, I know a lot of you have, because you've either gone out into the entrepreneurial world, you have launched websites, you've launched courses yourself, all these kinds of things. Remember, these are the little stepping stones of these goals, which are incredible. And I think super duper important, but you must make them, as they say here, SMART. The specific ones, the measurable, attainable, really relevant and timely. So, you know, goals are kind of dreams with deadlines, and whether they're small goals or bigger long-term goals, they still need to be there. So, for example, I'm going to take my webinar next week on the 22nd as an example, right? In July and August, want 15 if I can, 15 more wellness ambassadors to come on board. So this is my next intake. So all of my activity is around getting the 15. So I've upped my social media. That was a goal, tick. Okay, making more contacts, creating events, writing the goals down. I know my numbers. You really need to know numbers here. We're going to talk a lot about numbers tonight as well. So I know from previous webinars that if I have 50 to 60 people booked on, not necessarily that come onto the webinar live, but new connections and emails that I get that are interested, I can do those numbers because that's what I did before when you lovely people all came on. Okay, so you see, I'm working towards that now as much as possible. Those are my goals. So what happens with my focus and my to-do lists that I have, they are focused towards that every single day. MailChimp, you know, we're going to go through marketing and all that kind of stuff, but it's updating the words to the presentation, you know, PR around the course and the webinar, blah, blah, blah. And the activities are related to achieving the goal. Okay? So it's imperative you write them down. And it's imperative when you tick them off that you celebrate. Okay? So that is something I want everyone to do. So I'm going to give you a task probably in each of the areas. The task here is to write the goals. You were supposed to do it 12 weeks ago. Write them down. It can be one. I don't care. It's got to be something. Okay? It's got to be one goal that you want to achieve. Maybe at the start of the next mentoring to run for those 14 weeks. Do you get it? So I won't be revisiting goal setting, I don't think, at the beginning. So you need to do it now and have it ready, because we are having next week off mentoring, and then we're starting back the following week, the week of the 26th. So you've got a week to think about what you want to achieve in the next 12-week session. Okay, that's one of your tasks, So in week 2, we looked at vision boards. So who here has done your vision board? Yeah, great. Okay, we've got some hands. That's super. Vision boards are great. If you haven't done a vision board yet, then please also again take a look at your vision board. So the vision board is the bigger picture. I like a combination of words that are inspiring, and I like a combination of pictures. Now, I split mine out, and they live right there on the back of my door in my office. So again, you know, everything is in sight all the time. So I've split it out. I've got my top one, just as I read it to you. My top one is career. Then I have health. Then I have, and I can't see it, just a minute. Then I have lifestyle, and then I have travel. Okay, those are the things that are really important to me. So in my career vision board, it is my top one, because obviously if the career is going well, then I've got enough money coming in to do the rest of the stuff, right? So we're going to talk about the money mindset, which was one of our weeks as well. So this is really important for this section. Make sure you just have one or two things, you know, and as they come through, you can change them or cross them out or circle them or put a big, like tick on them. And I love doing that. And it's just a reminder, again, if you're focused on these things, then your mind focuses on it. Sometimes it's not our job to figure out how this actually works. And when you start going into the world of kind of how the brain works and the laws of attraction and all those kinds of things. I mean, some of it's a little bit woo-woo, okay? I mean, you can't just, oh, does everyone want to mute themselves? You can't just put the vision board there and expect it to happen. That isn't how it actually works. You do need to do the goals around it as well as the actions to support this eventually happening one day. Okay? And you really do need to believe that this can happen, because they can. It is incredible how the mind actually works. And when it looks at all this kind of stuff, basically what it does is puts the blinkers on. So all the distractions, right, that are not in this vision of what you want to create get batted away. And it focuses you a little bit more. So if you get an email for something, I mean, I get emails all the time. Oh, Barbara, can you do this? Or can you speak at this event? It's like, yeah, are you going to pay me? No. It's like, no, I'm not interested. You know? And it's like, oh, can you take a look at this product? Okay, well, you know, is that product, does it have this certification, that certification? No, I'm not interested. You know, all of these kinds of things, because I have a standard I want to keep with that board. Okay, so it's just like a roadmap, the way I look at it. It's like my friends driving to Scotland. You know, they put the sat nav on, they knew where they were gonna go, and they went there, and they're there, and they're having an amazing time. So it is the roadmap to your success, but you still have to do it. You still have to get in the car and drive and pack and organize and make sure you eat and fuel yourself properly along the way and take care of your car, you know, all these kinds of things. Otherwise, you're not going to reach the destination, which is, again, you will see the theme. And it's fascinating when I do the weeks, week 1, week 2, week 3, you're going to see how this theme builds this wonderful foundation upwards with all of this. So that's your next one to do. If you haven't done a vision board, put it again, task number 2. If you have done a vision board, revisit it. Because I do know some of you who have done it have ticked things off, number 1. Or number 2, you're playing too small. Yeah? Because these goals and these dreams need to give you a little bit of a heart palpitation. And if they don't, you're not going to work for it. It's like, oh, that's easy. Yeah, you know, I can buy that anytime. It's like, no, put something on there that's going to potentially stretch you. And actually, when it happens, you're going to say, holy crap, how did that happen? It's like, oh my God, that's amazing. That's what I want you to do. Okay, good. So task 1, revisit your goals. Task 2, we're going to take a look at the vision board. You're going to either do the vision board, split into whatever categories you personally want, or just do one with them all on. Good excuse to buy some magazines. Number 3, declutter your workspace. We talked about this in the webinars. So look, all the links for the YouTubes are on the in the Facebook group. So you can go back and re-listen to them if you want as well. But decluttering your workspace is something I want you to put in your diary every month for 1 hour. That's it. Just 1 hour once a month in your diary. Put declutter my workspace. That can be anything from taking a look at physical files, personal files, putting them into folders, either in Dropbox, Google Files, or filing them, beside you on the desk. You can do that as well. The other thing is that, if you're anything, I have images coming out of my Wazoo, right? It's like, put the images on my phone in a flip-in bit, so I'm not like scrolling through. Oh my God, how many messages? Hold on, tell you how many pictures I take, because I take a lot of pictures. I currently have 45,723 photos on my phone, right? And so, yeah, they're all in pretty folders. I have everything from my husband's mole, which I keep a check on, right? To my favorites, the 4 keys. I've got trips that I've been on. I've got Snapchat photos that my kids send me, with little funny bunny ears. I keep those in a separate folder. I've got the cat in one folder. I've got Hannah in another folder. Do you know what I mean? Use your folders. Keep it organized. Because I tell you what, sometimes my brain gets a little bit cluttered and I need to find an image really quickly, or I need to find a file really quickly. And if you're not organized, you are wasting time. And that time can be spent on your business. That time can be spent on your kids. How much time do you waste because you are not organized that you could be spending with your family or friends? I bet you it's more than an hour a month that I'm asking you to put aside to declutter. Get rid of the duplicates. Get rid of the crap videos on your phone. Free up some space, all that kind of stuff. And actually, things just run smoother when you've decluttered. And then you can actually do the pretty stuff. Buy some flowers for your desk, all that kind of thing. Get some aromatherapy oils. If your desk is clear and you've had some, beautiful space for stuff, then, again, everything just looks wonderful. What do they say? Like jumbled desk, jumbled mind. So again, we want to constantly detox that workspace, online and offline, and be really, really clear with that. Okay, week 4 was fueling for success in all the meal planning. Okay, so we did like breakfast, lunches, dinners, snacks, using your freezer, meal planning with your families, all those kinds of things. Who here uses a meal planner each week? Yay, more hands go up. Woohoo! I love it. I love it. Keep it going. Keep it going. So, there's some, I'm not going to spoil something, but I may have a surprise for you. I may have a surprise. I was trying to organize a surprise for everyone tonight, but it's not fully organized yet. So I'm not going to wreck it, but it's something everybody can drink. And we might organize something for the next set of mentoring. I'm going to leave it at that, but it's going to be good for everyone. So again, taking a look, pull every single recipe book that you have out, get some inspiration, write your breakfast, write your lunches, write your dinners, write some snacks, and use your weekend to prepare. Or what I do now is on a Friday afternoon is my last client is at 2:00. I start at 7 a.m. on a Friday, and I take my last client at 2. And then after that is when I do my end of week, finishing up all the old emails and stuff like that. And I prep for the following day. And also I use that time to clean the house a little bit as well. Just get all the energy out because I don't want to do it on a Saturday anymore. Fair enough. So, use your time wisely with that. But that's when I do the meal planning. It's like, okay, great. Here's some ideas for breakfast, lunches, and dinners. Now, they're ideas. It doesn't mean that you have to stick to it, because there's sometimes when I wake up and I feel, oh God, I don't feel like eating Japanese food today. I feel like eating something else. So be flexible with it. But if you don't have a plan, it's really difficult. But if you're not planning at all, what tends to happen is when our energy fluctuates, we go for the high carbs, right? And then we crave, that's just like this downward spiral, isn't it? Of those cravings, sweets, salty foods. I kind of have these two things. Things go in many different categories, but the two main ones are sweet and salty, right? When we're craving a lot of salty food, it's because you are dehydrated. We need those mineral salts, all right? And the body is very, very clever. It's like, ooh, I'm going to get Barbara to eat some crisps or some popcorn because she needs to drink more water. And I know if she has salt, she's going to pick up some water. It's like, yeah, it's really smart, but I don't need the crisps or salt to do it. But for me, that's my trigger. When I feel, oh, I feel like something's salty, I know I'm dehydrated. Listen to your body. Okay, I really want you to listen. If you're doing sweet cravings, it could be that your blood sugars are roller coastering a little bit because you're on that slippery slope. So you need to do a little bit of a sugar detox, okay, which we're going to chat about in another week than when we talked about detoxing. But you know, sugar is not fuel for success at all. The crashes that you get and how it actually injures, okay, it injures your vital organs is the easiest way to say it. You don't want to be injuring any vital organs with sugar because that's what it does. Again, take it as, you know, how can I have some low glycemic food that still gives me a sugar hit? If I feel like something sweet, you know, I do have fresh medjool dates in the house. And I might have a date with a cup of coffee as a dessert. But a lot of the times I know my triggers with that. And I have started making my own sorbets. So how I make my own sorbets, because you know, the kids like it and I've got them home at the moment. So I get fresh frozen fruit and I use a little bit of dairy-free yogurt. I might put a little bit of vanilla essence in there as well. And then I just whiz it up in a high-speed blender and it makes the most amazing ice cream, like super duper amazing ice cream. You can use really cold coconut milk if you want as well and freeze it down. It's a little bit sloppier, and you do need to freeze it after that. But, you know, quantities are pretty easy. I use a can of coconut milk to about 300 to 400 grams of frozen fruit. Vanilla essence, don't add any sugar to it at all. Or maybe a touch of maple syrup sometimes, but normally I get the kids to put it on afterwards because I don't like it. So, you know, be in control. Be in control. Fuel for success as much as possible. When we did that webinar, there was loads of information. So, and you all have a copy of Eat to Be Fit anyway, so you can use that as an inspiration also. Okay, number 5, the money mindset. This was really about thinking about abundance. And we spoke about so many things in this section. We talked about financial goals, and this is another big thing. You know, don't shy away from the financial goals. Be really open with those. You know, maybe it's more of a cultural thing. You know, I obviously growing up in Canada, and that kind of influence from America where you talked about how much money you made. And here it's still a little bit of a taboo subject. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. You know, people should be really open with it because financial well-being is one of the biggest stressors that you will come across at the moment. So, you know, being open with those is really important. We also talked about budgeting in this section as well, how you could split your money. So 40% of the income that you have coming in needs to, after tax, obviously, needs to be for your living expenses. So you need to be living off of just 40% of what you're bringing in. So again, it's going through everything and budgeting and how you're splitting that out. I always put, you know, 5 to 10% a month of my monthly wage towards charities. I'm a big charity giver. You know, once that's gone, it's gone. And then the next month, then I do something else. So it's difficult to do everything, but I have something, you know. Even if it's a $5 that you can give to charity, how fantastic is that? You got to start somewhere and it builds. It builds and it feels really good. The whole idea around splitting things out is to create a positive habit around money. That's what you want to do. Create a positive habit around it. And I do it with my kids, you know. I probably still shouldn't give them spending money, but I do. And yeah, so you know, but I do make them save it. I do make them save it. And I ask them, how much money is in your savings account? Show me. You know, and it's like, if they don't want to show me, it's like, well, if you're not going to show me, I ain't going to give you any more spending money. You know, and it's like, okay, well, you know, I'll show you. And I think that's great. You need to be really open with that. And I do teach them around budgeting and everything as well. We also talked about manifesting bingo in this section as well. And it's really funny. I got an email from Nikki. You know, she goes, manifesting bingo didn't work with the England game. So I thought that was really great. I told her I was going to use it tonight. So, but yeah, it's fascinating. You know, manifesting bingo is really good. And again, be open to those opportunities as and when they come in, and be really grateful when they do. And yeah, so my manifesting bingo already so far this month is got some good checks in there as well, and numbers, and when things happen, it's fantastic and amazing. So you know, make sure that you're doing that if that's your thing. Dynamism. Now, it's great because I had a lot of really fabulous positive feedback on this one, and building your dynamism to gain resilience and clarity. And let's just really go through that, because this is actually a really big section, and I really enjoyed making this one. I really enjoyed doing it. And so I've actually written, you know how I always have my board up in front of me? Yeah, dynamism right there, boom. Because distractions are the biggest thing. And again, taking a look at distractions and how you actually feel around stuff is incredible. So do your sort of timekeeping as much as possible. Block your time if you can. Again, use your you know, wonderful pens, your highlighters that you have, and compartmentalize things. So when distractions come in, you can say, oh, ooh, you know, I'm not going to answer that right now because I'm doing this. And the pings on the phones, you know, all the times that you know, someone, I don't know, puts you in a WhatsApp group or whatever, and it's pinging away, you know, just put the sound off so those distractions aren't there. Really know your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? Because it just makes life so much easier if you know why you're doing stuff, or even why you're doing any single activity. So it's not like you know, this is where mindfulness comes in here. The sort of Y and the M in mindfulness are kind of joined here, because every action needs to be mindful why you're doing it. And those really are attached, because your intent needs to be either working towards your goal or your vision, right? Because if it doesn't, then you need to ask yourself, why am I doing this? And you know, again, when opportunities come in, before I say yes to an opportunity, I think, why am I doing this? And will it help me reach my goal? Because if I'm going to put any time or effort into it, then, you know, that's it. You know, I love doing these webinars for you guys because I learn at the same time. Yeah, and it reminds myself. And so I love it. That's why I do it. There's so much neuroscience around, you know, again, mindset, personal development, all those kinds of things. But a lot of it really is you taking the action to do it, and being, you know, splitting everything out to your daily tasks and making sure you get everything back on track. Improving yourself is one of the best things that you can do. You know, invest in yourself. You are your brand. You are, you know, worth it. And improving yourself on a daily basis, whether it's even drinking more water to help with anti-aging and lack of dehydration, or it's going on a course, is wonderful. using your schedule all the time. You know, being flexible within that, obviously, but you know, a schedule is a schedule, and it's about having time for yourself within that schedule as well. So make sure that you put some you time in there. Again, you know, I have 1 hour a week, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's 1 hour a week for self-care in my schedule. That's for me. And I have the most amazing new bathroom now, which is finished. And I had a bath for the first time the other day. And do you know, it felt so good. And when I was in there, I was like, wow, this is a really nice bath. And I just sat there and just probably smiled the whole time, just looking around at all the you know, everything in there. And it was great. So again, schedule you time in there as well. Motivation is a big one. It's really quite interesting because motivation is triggered by action. People don't think that, but you know, some people say, oh, you know, I can't do it because I'm not motivated or whatever. It's like, yeah, well, if you are not actioning something, the motivation can't start until you start, right? It's self-perpetuating. So if you feel demotivated around something and you're not motivated to do whatever, you must start the action of doing it. It's the action that drives and pushes the motivation, not the other way around. It's not that you have to feel motivated to do something. You need to do it for the motivation to appear. So please remember that. Please remember that. Okay. Week 7, we talked about sales. Sales. Guy Kawasaki. Who's read Rich Man, Poor Man? Anybody? Rich Man, Poor Man? Okay, Guy Kawasaki. And his wife, can't remember her name, Mrs. Kawasaki, has written, I think it's like Rich Woman, Poor Woman. The women's version of it. Yeah, she has some really, really great stuff. Anyway, do you know what? One of his phrases is just so flippin' perfect. Sales fix everything. How true is that? Sales do fix everything, right? And so really it is about getting sales targets, getting those targets up and running. What do you need to do to reach those target goals? And hopefully you all know what a break even is in your business. So a lot of you know that I've just taken on a personal, a VA, a virtual assistant. And she used to work with me at NutriChef. She's amazing. She's turning out absolutely amazing, which is great. But I knew before I took her on that what she had to produce to pay for herself. And month 1, she's paid for herself. So, you know, you're not scared to move forward with things when you know your numbers and you're open with them. Because I said to Sam, I said, look, you know, this is great. You're helping with marketing, but your marketing is, you know, linked to sales. And she goes, yeah, I know. I remember working with you, Barbara. And it's like, yeah, great. So she's cracked on, and you know, before we knew it, what she was doing in month 1 equated to 1 sale, and paid for herself. And she knows if she wants to continue working with me, whatever she does that I can link directly back to her will pay for itself. So that's brilliant. And then I'm getting help, and then anything else on top of that is a bonus. So you really do need to look at this area in depth. Okay, what are your sales targets? I told you mine. Yeah, mine in the next 2 months is 15 new ambassadors. You know, fingers crossed, I'm doing everything. It might not happen, right? It might not happen, but I'm still going to work towards it because eventually it will. I know by the end of the year I'll have another 15, but I just want to speed it up. How about you? You know, what are your sales goals? Because then you break down the to-do list after that. So I knew that I needed to create events and get people onto that event target, all these people, make sure the price was right, make sure, I have my list, go back to other people who may have inquired about it before, all that kind of stuff, keeping a spreadsheet of everybody that I've spoken to. It is about creating this funnel around the whole thing. Okay, don't worry, we're gonna talk about it much more in the next set as well, because this is a massive, massive area, and I am not an expert in this area whatsoever, but it is about getting the basics, and it is about getting it going. Yeah, and as you'll see from the next set as well, you can get some more ideas. Week 8, we talked about detoxing. It was really fascinating because even just today, I was working in Russia today. Oh my God, it was so much fun. I have, as you know, I have this Russian client, and today we were talking about detoxing. And so, I've said it before, we live in this world that is an increasingly toxic world. And I'm not talking about Chernobyl here, okay? Where we know an onslaught of chemicals are going to affect our body, right? We all know that. What I'm talking about is the effect of repeated exposure to lower levels of these toxins that are not, or in the past weren't considered to cause ill health, okay? Because chronic exposure to these toxic supplements adds this unnecessary toxic burden of inflammation on our body. Now, inflammation is the precursor to all disease. Cancer, heart disease, diabetes, mental health issues are all caused by inflammation in the body. So you want to get the inflammation down. End of. Okay? Simplest way, drink enough water, right? Honestly, I'm going to give you these 7 tips. It's just so simple, it's ridiculous. Yet we don't do it. We don't do it, okay? And it is so important. Number 1, you need to eat clean. Yeah, dump the junk. We know to dump the junk, okay? But write it down. Eat clean. Fruits, vegetables, eat the rainbow, beautiful rainbow of food. Taking a look at your food sources. Get a farm delivery of Riverford or Abel and Cole or something like that. Plan for that. If you can eat organic, that's wonderful. We have a lot of, we're really lucky down here in Dorset. We have a lot of organic farms, and, I don't mind ugly vegetables, right? I don't mind it. I don't mind, that my, I got slug lines on a courgette, right? Or that there's marks on my courgette. I don't mind that. Some people, they get freaked out about that. I get it. You want pristine looking food. But you know what? Sometimes the ugly food and the ugly fruit and veg has lower and less chemicals on it. And that really is the end result that you want. It does come with a higher price tag. So my rule of thumb there is if you're going to eat a lot of it, like for example, if you eat a lot of potatoes, buy organic potatoes. If you don't eat a lot of, sweet potato, then don't buy organic sweet potato. And some dry stores like beans, organic beans are like almost the exact same price as non-organic beans. So buy organic. And it's looking around and I shop at different supermarkets. Oh my God. Hannah and I went to Aldi the other day because we went to go outdoors on, is it Saturday night? Can't remember. She's off camping this weekend, so I bought her a teepee. Yeah, it's a good old Canadian teepee. It's like, no, you are not going to have a regular tent. You're going to have a flipping Canadian teepee. So we bought this cool teepee. And across from it was Aldi. And I don't often go there. We've got a little down the road. We've got a Sainsbury's, but Aldi's a little bit further. And they had this amazing organic pasta. Oh my God, it was just like so cheap. and it was gluten-free. It was a, I don't know, can't remember, 3 different kinds. Go there and find it out. But it was just great. Take yourself down to a different supermarket. Take yourself down different supermarket aisles. There's some aisles I don't even go down, right? Because I know I don't want anything down there. Go down, have a look. Take a little bit more time. See if you can't build up your store cupboard of some different food, some healthier food, and choose organic if your budget, suits it. I love Asda sometimes, a little bit further for me to go, but I know that they have some good organic stuff. And then I'll just go and buy like a whole bunch of chickpeas that are organic from there because I know it's the cheapest place. So I'll buy like a box of 12 or something. So again, use your time and see where you can get. As I said, my number 3 is drinking a lot of water. You really do need to be drinking a lot of water. I'm a real water snob. I've had, so many different types of water filters. It's crazy. If you want information on water filters, I can send them to you. But it is about drinking it. Any water is better than no water. Whether it's filtered or not, I don't care. Okay? You just need to drink it. 1.5 to 2 liters of water a day will really help the body detox itself. Have the water in between the meals. So when you eat, and when you drink, drink. Because you do not want to be drinking water or any fluids with your food because it dilutes the hydrochloric acid and enzymes that are used to break your food down. You need your body understanding when you're hungry, when you're thirsty. You need to do those separately. They are separate actions. The body is a piece of biochemistry. Treat it like that because sometimes it can't do 2 things at once. Okay? Next one is exercise. Oh my God, for those of you in my revamp group, have you tried the nitric oxide, sorry, the bloody things in my teeth. Nitric oxide exercise, 3 minutes. If you're not in my Revamp Your Wellness group, message me. I'll put you in there because we're doing a 5-day challenge at the moment of doing something different every day. It is a 3-minute exercise by Dr. Mercola. You can Google it. Dr. Mercola, nitric oxide exercise. Okay? Listen to him. He rambles on for 5 minutes before he gives you the exercise. But he explains why it is so important. Okay? So you really do need to do that. The next one is sweat. So either sweat while you do your exercise or take a look at a sauna. There's these infrared saunas I'm looking at the moment. They're ever so cheap. They're like little blankets or something. And I thought they'd be really cool. But I'm thinking of getting a sauna for the balcony. I don't need a hot tub. I need a sauna. But a hot tub would do it as well. But we can't have a hot tub on the balcony. Our neighbors would go crazy. But I know some of you have hot tubs. Please use it and sweat. Okay? Because that gets those toxins out of the system and really, really helps. It's wonderful. And then shower off afterwards because you don't want those toxins sitting on the body because the skin is a carrier, not a barrier. Once the toxins come out of the pores, they can also go back in. We don't want that. You might want to take a look at supplementation for detoxifying as well. Okay? If you want a really good one is vitamin C. You can actually take up to 3,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day if you want. The best thing is to go to bowel tolerance. What I mean by that is as soon as you start having, this bit gross, as soon as you start having diarrhea, you've hit your tolerance, okay? So what you want to do is take a look at a really good vitamin C supplement that maybe is in 500s milligrams of ascorbic acid we're talking about here, okay? So you can take 500 at a time, watch how the body reacts, up to 3,000. And it's really great, very good and detoxing for the body. Okay. Social media tips was what we talked about in week 9. And, there was so much. But the main things here are choosing your platform and choosing your platform properly. Making sure that you're doing some type of daily scheduling for your social media tips, linked to what you are trying to achieve. Okay? Remember, even going back to the dynamism, why are you doing your social media? Is it linked to your targets for your sales? Be mindful about what you're doing and create content around that. Don't just do it for brand awareness. Well, if you want to do it for brand awareness, great, at least you have it, but do it for a reason. And try to keep it the same, which I think is good. Use your hashtags. We talked about hashtags before. There's so many different ones. Create your own one. Start using your name. And start building a name for yourself that is part of your brand, making your own hashtags. And again, let's support each other. Even if it's a like, it helps the algorithm for all of us. So, whenever I see yours, sometimes I can't always comment because I don't have time, but I definitely like it. Like. Doesn't matter what it is. We like it. Because it helps. The more likes we have, the more it goes off. Now, something I do want to try in the next set, because as you know, I'm actually taking a course myself with Shalene Johnson called InstaHub. And I'm learning so much in that. So we are going to be doing more on social media in the next 14 weeks. And we're going to try to do some challenges and how we can support each other in those challenges as well. Because we have been choosing times to post. And then everyone in the little group that I'm in have been liking each other's at that time really quickly. And what's happening is it's getting out there even more because of the speed that we all post at. So I want to try to run some challenges. So all that great fun stuff coming out on social media tips as well. Week 10, we talked about marketing. Again, the advertising, the logos, the prospects, websites. Look, there's 101 different ways to market. And I think last time we talked about 10 ways to market your business. Whereas again, we're going to be doing a part 2. I'm going to be doing lots more interviews with people as well, which we have coming up to give us more ideas and more tips on how we can market our business. But you need to choose what works for you, because not everything works for me and not everything is going to work for you. Because the main thing is you need to test and measure. Try something, put some time to it, test and measure it. If you don't get your results, you can try it again. Okay, test and measure again. Maybe, for me, third time unlucky with something, it's not going to work for me. I'll leave it for a while and I might revisit it again. Okay, and again, taking a look, does your marketing equate to sales? You need to know your numbers and you need to have your targets to help with this. And you need to put specific time in your schedule. Yeah, does anybody remember what color my sales is? Pink. Yay! Pink, that's right. Pink is my sales color. Okay, so whenever it's in my diary, boom, 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 pink, pink, pink is it. So again, get your things ready. These are systems. You guys know my sales are pink. I know my sales are pink. So when I glance at my diary and it's like, 4:00, I'm still on sales, I know it's done, and the brain just works properly. And it just goes from there. In week 11, we talked about motivation. And again, we've touched on motivation. I know I'm running out of time slightly. So motivation, again, I've touched on it. It starts when you start. It all starts with the action, okay? Motivation, so it's almost like the chicken and egg. Yeah, what comes first? Actually, in this case, action starts and the motivation follows. But make sure you have everything in its place as well. So we have our recap. here of the last 12 weeks. It has been great, and thank you for attending. Thanks for all your really positive feedback about that. What I'm really excited to tell you is look at the next 14 weeks. Boom, boom, boom. We are going to start with goal setting and vision boards part 2. Okay? Because I really want this cracked this time. The next 12 weeks, we're going to be setting some great goals. We're also going to be staying really accountable to them on a week-by-week basis as well. And I think this is really important to have that accountability. We're going to be fueling for success. We did food last time. We're going to be doing it with exercise, not just with Dr. Mercola. We might have a special guest. So that will help. Marketing your business, part 2 is going to be great. We're going to look at self-esteem and self-confidence. Yeah, let's get out there and do some stuff and feel really great about ourselves and just crack on and do it. We're again going to do a part 2 with the meal planning for success as well, and got some great new recipes there. Gratitude, eight ways to be more grateful, and it really does start with being super grateful around stuff. We're going to keep talking about sales and always still talk about sales. I'm going to do one event as a mini wellness retreat one evening. We're going to have a really fun self-care evening where we are going to do, all these great things. Potentially face mask. We're all going to have to come. I might not record that one. But all those kinds of things, I'll have to take my video off for that. But we're going to do a retreat at home. I just thought that would be really fun for us all to do. We're going to do social media tips, again, learning from the course that I'm on. We're going to be, how do we advertise your products and services? We might, again, have a special guest joining us for that one. We're going to look at trends in wellness and trends in self-care, because I want you guys to be ahead of the curve here. Okay, it's not what was done and we're going to go on the bandwagon. No, I want you guys to be leading professionals in the wellness industry. We're going to look at what's coming up, what's working, and do some great stuff around that. We're going to talk about writing blogs that convert to sales, writing blogs that really get attention. So was it yesterday I wrote a blog on long COVID, and at the end I said, if you want a free 15-minute discovery call, I've had 3 already. 3 calls from that one blog. Okay, I haven't had any of the calls yet. They're booked in for this week. So, I'll let you know how I convert that. But again, let's get blogging. Let's get converting. We're going to be talking more about your brand and your offering and making sure that what you're offering is spectacular, which I have no doubt is. And then we're going to be talking about selling through webinars. And again, come on to my webinar. You've seen how successful all of you have come through that way, all of you. So, it is something successful that works. And I'm kind of creating a little bit of a template for it that I want to teach you how to do the same thing. So you can launch your businesses doing it this way as well. Whoops, what happened? There we go. So we're there. So I really, really, really want to thank you, everybody, for having a great 12 weeks. It's been amazing. So we're going to take next week off. I will still be posting in the group and probably jumping on live and saying hi to everybody. And if you have any questions, use the group as well. But we are going to start back the following week, the week of the 26th. Now, I am going to put something in the group around this, but I'm thinking of choosing one night now a week. Because as we grow, it's going to be more and more difficult with it being flexi time for people. So I'm thinking a Tuesday evening between 5:30 and 6:30. It's kind of that time. It's a little bit extra at work for those of you who want to do this in your work time, but it's not quite home time. I haven't decided fully on that. I will do a poll in the group with probably 3 different days of the week and 3 different time slots. just to make sure, because it is a difficult one. And the other thing is, it's summer. I want people to take advantage of their evenings in the summer. So maybe we roll out the rest of the summer flexi time. And when we're back into the schedule, when, you know, September comes and the nights draw in, we might do, you know, more evenings again. So, you know, I'm pretty flexible at this moment in time, but I just want as many people to take advantage of it as possible. So I'm going to open it up to you guys. I want to thank everybody. It's been really great. And if you have any further ideas or anything that you want to say, the floor is yours.
That program looks awesome, Barbara.
Yeah.
I can only really reflect on what Dawn said already. Thank you, Dawn. I feel like you spoke for all of us, but it's been an awesome 12 weeks, and to be gifted with over another 3 months of mentoring from superstar Barbara is really quite phenomenal. So I think we're all super duper grateful and looking forward to learning even more.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, thanks. It's been really awesome working with each one of you. It's been really great. It's a real honor for me. So thank you. Thank you. Fabulous. Lovely. Thank you everyone for joining. It's been absolutely superb. I will stop sharing. There we go. I think we can I get everyone gallery on here? Woohoo! There we go. It's really, really great to see everyone. So thank you so much. I really appreciate everything. Honestly, I won't see everyone next week. So have a good one. I'm always here at the end of the phone, end of the webinar to help however I can. And here's to another great 14 weeks, guys. Thank you.
Amazing.
Thanks, Barbara.
Take great care. Have a lovely, lovely evening.
See you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.